SpaceX launched 4 astronauts toward the International Space Station on a shiny new SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule spacecraft Wednesday night from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, continuing the company's swift acceleration of crew missions just 2 days after another capsule returned to Earth. A slightly sooty Falcon 9 rocket topped with a Crew Dragon capsule took to the skies above NASA's Kennedy Space Center here on Wednesday, November 10, at 9:03 p.m. EST, lighting up the night sky as it lifted off from the agency's historic Pad 39A. The successful blastoff from Florida marked SpaceX's 5th launch to send humans into space since ending a gap in U.S. orbital human spaceflight capability in May 2020 with the first Dragon astronaut mission. Since then, SpaceX has launched 3 operational crew rotation flights to the space station under contract to NASA, including the launch Wednesday night. The most recent Crew Dragon launch to carry people was the privately funded, all-civilian Inspiration 4 mission, a 3-day voyage in September to raise awareness and money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. SpaceX was back at work for NASA with the launch Wednesday, kicking off a 22-hour pursuit of the space station on the company's newest spacecraft, the Crew Dragon Endurance. The launch kicked off SpaceX's Crew 3 mission, which will carry 4 astronauts, NASA's Raja Chari, Tom Marshburn, and Kayla Barron, along with the European Space Agency's Matthias Maurer, on a 22-hour flight to the International Space Station. It was originally scheduled for an October 31 launch. The Crew 3 has seen several delays, for weather concerns, and once for a minor medical issue with one of the crew members. Following a series of weather-related delays, the Crew 3 launch countdown proceeded smoothly, with the clothes-out crews completing critical leak and communications checks ahead of schedule. The crew seemed relaxed and ready for the action as the minutes ticked away. "What a beautiful launch," NASA Associate Administrator Bob Cabana said during the live broadcast. "It was another great experience seeing those 4 take off into space tonight." Once the Falcon 9's first stage engines ignited, the rocket put on a breathtaking show as the glow from the engines lit up the night sky. "Sometimes when you try to fly on Halloween, you get a trick instead of a treat," Chari radioed SpaceX flight controllers just before liftoff. "We're honored to fly Endurance on Veterans Day and we're proud to represent the SpaceX and NASA teams as we live and work on the ISS for the next 6 months." The Crew 3 launch marked the 25th launch of the year here in Florida and the 24th so far this year for SpaceX. While the rocket was one of SpaceX's veteran flyers, launching on its 2nd mission, the Dragon Crew capsule was brand new, dubbed Dragon Endurance by its crew. The capsule is carrying Crew 3 on a 6-month mission aboard the ISS. The picture-perfect launch occurred just 12 days after it was originally scheduled to blast off. Chari, Marshburn, Barron and Maurer arrived in Florida on October 26, days before their planned Halloween launch. The Crew 3 astronauts will replace 4 astronauts who departed the space station Monday and splashed down in the Gulf of Mexico on SpaceX's Crew Dragon Endeavour spaceship. That mission, known as Crew 2, launched in April with Commander Shane Kimbrough, pilot Megan MacArthur, Japanese astronaut Akihiko Hoshide, and ESA mission specialist Thomas Pesquet. Officials originally planned to launch the Crew 3 mission before Crew 2 returned to Earth, allowing a few days for the outgoing team of astronauts to brief the incoming crew at the space station. But with the Crew 3 launch delays, NASA managers decided to swap the order of the crew rotation and bring the Crew 2 astronauts home first. The new spacecraft is nearly identical to the other capsules SpaceX's human spaceflight fleet. But the Crew 3 mission marks the first time SpaceX has reused a Crew Dragon nose cone, which flew previously a different spacecraft. There are also software upgrades to guard against radiation impacts on communications systems while the spacecraft is docked at the space station. SpaceX added more cleaning techniques to cut down on foreign object debris, according NASA, and introduced computer changes to improve their performance during re-entry. Engineers modified the spacecraft's docking procedures and mechanisms to mitigate hardware interference on the space station side of the interface, NASA said. SpaceX also developed and implemented a quick change to the Dragon toilet on the new capsule after a urine leak on Crew Dragon Resilience spacecraft flown on the private Inspiration 4 mission last month. The modification involved replacing a leaky glued joint with a more solid welded joint. There are a few more perks on the Crew Dragon Endurance spacecraft, including USB charging ports for the astronauts' tablets. With the launch of the Crew 3 mission, SpaceX has sent 18 people into orbit in the last 18 months on 5 Crew Dragon flights. I certainly think we have learned a lot, and we're very grateful for the chance to fly as often as we have, said Sarah Walker, Director of Dragon Mission Management. We need a reason to fly, and we're grateful that NASA provided us a reason to fly, and several other customers. 4 of the 5 crew missions SpaceX has launched to date are part of the company's commercial crew contract with NASA. The Inspiration 4 mission was a private arrangement, and SpaceX's next crew launch in February will be another commercial affair under contract with Axiom Space, which is sending a professional astronaut and 3 paying passengers on a 10-day voyage to the space station. When we first started commercial crew, it would have been a dream to me that we would have flown these 4 missions, with the cadence, working back to back, said Kathy Leaders, NASA's Associate Administrator for Space Operations. NASA and SpaceX reviewed data from the Crew 2 mission's re-entry and splashdown Monday night before clearing next crew flight for liftoff. One focus of the data review was the Dragon spacecraft's parachutes. One of the 4 main chutes on the Crew 2 mission took longer to fully inflate than the other 3, but NASA officials said the lagging inflation is an expected feature of the 4-chute landing system. The 4th chute eventually unfurled, and the Crew Dragon Endeavour capsule reached the Gulf of Mexico for splashdown at the correct speed. The loading on the parachutes during the capsule's final descent can sometimes cause one, but more, of the chutes to take longer to inflate, according to Stick. Right now, I don't see any changes going forward, Stick said of the parachutes. We'll continue to look at the data. We did a review of the data for the Crew 2 flight to get to launch today, but we'll continue on with the data from Crew 2. And as we get smarter, if there's an improvement we can make down the road, we'll do that.